So picture this, you get that big welcome offer that you've been working months towards, and now you're wanting to book a getaway for you and your plus one. I get it, I've been there. However, knowing where to get started can sometimes be pretty difficult. This is true for pretty much any ecosystem, but today I'm going to be focusing on Capital One. I'm going to be giving myself a hypothetical 100,000 Capital One miles, and I'm going to give you guys 2 examples on how you could redeem it. I'm going to try and showcase some of Capital One's strong suits as well, so that you can grasp a better understanding for how to use Capital One miles in a more efficient way, so you're not losing out on value that your points could be giving you. Before we get into that, if you would, please like and subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate it, and it really helps the algorithm like us more. And with that being said, let's get started with the first example. So for the first example, we're going to be heading to Chicago for a long weekend trip from April 10th to April 12th. One of Capital One's strong suits is the ability to transfer points to Virgin Atlantic and then using Virgin Atlantic's website and points to book Delta domestic flights. The same thing can be said for Qantas and booking American airline flights. And in this example, we're going to be able to utilize both. We'll use Qantas's website to book an American Airlines flight for 9,000 points per person from Atlanta to Chicago. We're using Atlanta as an example because that is my home airport. The total amount of points for the flight to Chicago is going to be 18,000 points. And the nice part about the flight leaving from Atlanta to go to Chicago is that it's pretty early in the morning, so you do still have that full day to explore. Next, we'll use Virgin Atlantic's website to book our flight from Chicago to Atlanta. That flight is going to be 11,000 points per person. The flight out of Chicago is nice, but for sort of the opposite reason. It leaves later in the evening, so you still get that full day as well to not rush around as much and maybe do a little bit of last minute exploring of Chicago. The total for the flights back is going to be 22,000 Virgin Atlantic points, and if we add up the Virgin Atlantic points and Qantas points, we are going to get a total points usage of 40,000 points, leaving us with 60,000 for the hotel booking. Here's where we get to use another one of Capital One strong suits, that being their 1-to-2 transfer ratio to I Prefer. I found this booking at the SoFi Hyde Park Hotel for 50,000 points a night. That's 100,000 points total, but luckily with Capital One, because of that 1-to-2 transfer rate, we only have to transfer 50,000 points from Capital One, meaning that we still do have enough points for this booking. If we add up the total from our flights and hotels, we're going to get a grand total of points used of 90,000 points. That's below our $100,000 budget for what could be a very nice long weekend in Chicago for you and your plus one. The second way to use Capital One miles would be another long getaway from May 8th to May 10th to New York City. We're again going to be using Virgin Atlantic's website to book these flights. The flights from Atlanta to LaGuardia are going to be with Delta and are going to cost us 11,000 points per person both ways. That means our total points used for our flights to LaGuardia and from LaGuardia to Atlanta is going to be 44,000 points, leaving us with 56,000 points for the hotel. For the hotel, we're again going to be using the I Prefer brand for the booking. I found this booking for the Prince Catano, New York, which is a very nice hotel just a couple blocks away from the Empire State Building and Madison Square Garden, along with tons of other attractions that New York has to offer. The hotel is 50,000 points a night, so we're again going to be able to take advantage of that 1-to-2 ratio that Capital One has with I Prefer. The total for 2 nights is going to be 100,000 I Prefer points, but we only have to transfer 50,000 Capital One miles, meaning the total amount of points needed for the trip, if we add up the 50,000 from the hotels and the 44,000 for the flights, is going to be 94,000 points. Again, coming in under our 100,000 point budget. So there you guys go. 2 pretty nice getaways for you and your plus one for only 100,000 points. I'll admit it was a little bit difficult given that Capital One is not the strongest when it comes to hotel transfer partners. They are strong in the sense of you have access to airline alliances. So if there is a airline that you want to fly domestically, it's likely that your Capital One miles transfer to an international airline that has access to those domestic flights. Thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please like and subscribe. That would be greatly appreciated. And let me know in the comments what you guys think about these redemptions and about Capital One points altogether. I hope this video was helpful in helping you guys get started on spending your points efficiently, especially with Capital One. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye.